once, and that was before I became the Valentine, and I met Runa here and Sophie, and then you showed up, so I wasn't sure if you sent that telegram before you came yesterday to Valentine or after I had already gone to bed. That's why I telegrammed you, because I wasn't sure what was going on with that. Oh, I just wanted some clarification. So. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I'm more than willing to help. I just, I know there's a lot of things I don't really know about the inner workings of your group, and it sounds like Runa's business, and I don't want to poke my nose into her business if she doesn't want me there. No, and that's fine, but I mean, to be completely frank, I don't really want to. How do I say that without coming off a certain way? To be blunt, um, I don't really want to go and be around and help if you guys are off walking off, whispering to each other because you don't want me to know certain things. Be better if I just stood to the side, if that's gonna be the case. I'm not expecting you guys to tell me everything. It's just, I don't know. It puts a very strong wall up, and if that was the case, then I'd rather just sit this one out.
Oh, I understand. I don't think that's going to be the case.
All right. I
And
don't know if
the
I don't know if I believe that 100%, but okay.
well, that's fine. You don't have to, but I think the other thing that you've seen me having these side conversations about and stuff, that may just be gone. So, but
Huh?
well, you mentioned before last week that you've seen me having side conversations, and I told you that there was stuff I couldn't tell you because it wasn't my tale to tell. But I think most of that is probably just gone at this point, just based on some stuff that's happened around the state.
Hmm. Sorry, I just didn't want to stand in front of the teller and talking about this stuff.
That's smart.
Um, I, um, yeah. I mean, I get that. Well, like I said, I'm just in a strange position. I hope you can appreciate that at least.
Oh, I do. I do. I wish you didn't feel that way, but I can understand based on what's happened that you do.
I mean, it's not a feeling. It's just it's facts. I know. I am very aware that there are things that you guys don't wish to say around me. It makes things awkward sometimes, you know.
I will say it's not me who doesn't wish to say things.
I, I, it doesn't matter who wishes or who doesn't wish it, you know. I can understand it to a certain degree. I mean, I've only known you guys for a little while, where it seems you guys have known each other for quite a bit.
Honestly, it hasn't been that long. Most of us became friends pretty quickly. Like-minded individuals trying to survive and help each other out, and just it just kind of worked out very well.
Hmm. Well, I'm glad you guys have each other. And I get that my, I don't know, aloofness can breed some insecurities with other people. And that's fine.
Well, it's kind of like I mentioned before, my whole life was spent around people, so it's difficult for me to see specifically the other side of it, but I'm trying to see it from your side as much as possible.
It's fine.
Then I forget things like directly inviting and such like that, so.
It's, like I said, it's fine. I tried to be very upfront with that, saying I don't take offense to that if that's the case. Because I don't. And I know you and Rune are quite close, and I wasn't sure if that was you telling me that you guys were going to be around but off doing business. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, sometimes the written word does not convey everything.
That's true. A lot is lost in translation. Um, but yeah, no, I don't take offense to it. I mean, I wish I wasn't as distrusting as I am, but it is what it is. I mean, and it's not like I keep many secrets. I don't have much to tell, to be honest. I mean, my deepest secret ever is that I used to do moonshining, and that's about as, you know, it's about as dark as my past gets, really.
Well, that's honestly not that dark
I know.
based on things I've experienced, but
No,
if it's your darkest secret, then thank you for sharing it.
well, I'm telling you that with a lightness because I also understand it's not. I mean, you know, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I haven't done it here yet. I still haven't decided whether I want to or not, but
Well, you say not a big deal, but for you it may be. I I always find it odd sometimes when people compare what they've done versus other things they've done or other things they've heard people do, and then lessen what they have experienced because someone else has had it worse. Well, yes, everyone's possibly somewhere out there had it worse, but it doesn't lessen your experiences.
yeah. And yeah, like I said, I haven't really. I mean, I know a lot of people have experienced much hardship, and I am fully aware that me going off on my own for the first time, I am going to experience much hardship. And that's probably why I've been so, I don't know, careful with my steps. My parents sheltered me for a while, and then my brother did when I left them. And now that he's gone, I have to look out for myself. And I've heard tales, you know, from my mother and father and brother, things that they've gone through, their past experiences, and yeah, you know, it's more than enough to make someone extremely cautious. Perhaps I'll ease up with time. But that's where I'm at right now, at least.
Well, I can see that.
And that's why I do not hold any bitterness for people wanting to keep their secrets. I'm not entitled to anything. You know, I keep my own counsel, and if other people do not wish me in that council, I completely appreciate that. There's absolutely no hard feelings if people are like, maybe sit this one out, Hazel. and I will be fine with that.
Has Runa mentioned anything about her husband to you?
That she had an ex-husband. That she was married to him in Norway, and after they separated, she came here.
All right.
I felt like she was a bit young to have been married already, but she might have married young. I know some women do.
She's 30 something, 34, 35, I believe.
Oh. For some reason, I thought she was younger than that.
I'm honestly not very good at guessing people's age. I saw all sorts of all skills in the army, and age was not really a factor, so I'm honestly a bit blind to it. I don't even know how old you are.
How old do you think I am? There would be no offense taken. I'm genuinely curious.
This is not a boot in the mouth moment.
No. Because I know people guess on age, determining on how the person looks, but also behavior as well.
Behavior, I think you've experienced more than someone like Sophie has, so older than her. I would say somewhere in your 20s, perhaps, late 20s, based on your experience.
Okay.
I don't know if you're pushing 30. I don't want to be rude, but seems like you've
rude?
been through a lot, so...
Why would it be rude?
Oh, you know, those women in the city who fan themselves when, you know, age is mentioned. How dare you say I'm 30? I'm 22 or something. I don't know. I don't have... like I said, I might be blind to the age factor until wrinkles start showing up. You really never know.
Yeah, that's fair. And some people age differently, you know.
Exactly. I don't want to assume. My estimations on age is usually based on the experiences that someone has. But even someone like Runa, you said appeared younger. I agree. She did appear younger based on what she knew, but that was an incorrect assumption from me. It's just she was a little sheltered in Norway, so...
Yeah, I was the opposite, unfortunately. Or fortunately. I was not very sheltered growing up, so... I had to learn a lot of things rather quickly. But, I mean, I suppose you're not too far off my age. If you want to know it.
Yeah. We were just talking about it. It doesn't really matter to me. I think your experiences and your insights and knowledge so far and what we've been doing, you know, doesn't make me think you're fresh out of your parents' home or anything.
Okay, then I won't tell you how old I am. Let it be a mystery.
Oh, that is up to you, of course.
You don't seem to care, so...
It doesn't matter too much. You're far more experienced than many people who are probably look older than you.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I have seen a lot. Not necessarily experienced too much, but some children want to learn lessons on their own, and I was one of those children that I guess I've always been a severe child, now that I think about it. But I always took the lessons I was told to heart. Because, you know, the world can be a really scary place, and what harm does it do to take in other people's wisdom and experience?
I can agree with that. That's why I do try to pass on some of mine freely.
I think the most rebellious or willful thing I've done was to leave home earlier than my parents wanted me to, but, you know. It wasn't really that rebellious, since my brother basically did the same thing. He eased the path, as it were. Then again, he is a boy, so it's easier for, I feel like, parents to let their male children go before their female children.
Well, my parents weren't too happy about me leaving and joining the army. But I told them, you have 4 children older than me, who are all better at what they do than I am. And I don't want to be stuck here chopping trees for the rest of my life. Plus, they were very religious, and I felt that was kind of constricting.
Yeah, you have mentioned this.
The guilt, you know, everything is guilty and pushing you to conform and not think for yourself. I didn't like that in my teenage years.
Doesn't sound like you like it in your adult years either.
Not after what I've seen.
Maybe there's, you know, maybe deep down inside of you, you're still that teenage boy.
Yeah, somewhere down in the boot, probably. Oh. Rolling around in the socks. Oh, you said deep down, so...
I meant inside of you as a person, not your actual physical body. Fuck's sake, Kincaid.
Oh, okay. My mistake.
Everyone calls you Kincaid. Do you prefer Kincaid or Levi?
Kincaid.
Okay.
I only give my first name when it's absolutely needed.
No, I know. I honestly thought Kincaid was your first name. And then you introduced yourself to somebody in front of me, and you said your name was Levi Kincaid, and I was like, oh shit, I've been calling him by his family name.
It's, at this point, a habit and a preference. Army is always last name, and, well, except for Chet, he refused to be called Hennessy, so everyone just called him Chet. But, you know, Levi, it's a biblical name that has some, I don't know. When your parents beat you for sins that you don't realize you're committing, it's difficult.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be.
Well, I am, but it just sounds like you had a very severe childhood, and I apologize for that, you know? That doesn't sound very great. I was one of those children that was allowed to run barefoot and half naked around the fields when I was younger. So, you know, I don't quite understand why some parents do that to their children.
It's odd that I chose a profession in the military, which is also very regulated, but still. It was the easiest way to get away.
Yeah. I can get that. While they have structure, they still allow you to be your own person. I mean, if you think about it, any career path has that. Maybe not nearly as strict as the military, but every job has its own rules and limitations that they put on people who work with them, so...
Yes, don't tell that to the infantrymen who are marched around all over the country at on the whim of a paper that comes in. But in scouting, tracking, that sort of thing does give you freedom.
I bet you got to see all kinds of things.
Yes. It's a big and varied country.
Mm.
The variety of backgrounds, especially in the army, is very, very interesting.
Jarring.
Yeah, you can have someone from the city who surprises you as a marksman, and excuse me, sir, we're in a conversation here. And then you can have someone who claims they had been hunting all their life, who can't even hit the broadside of a barn. You've got hotheads, you've got calm people,
Mm.
and all the mix in between. You've got commanders who can't see past their own nose, and then you have those who give you orders because they know it'll make you happy. I saw mountains, deserts, a couple glances at the oceans, cities big and small, and more forts than I can count across the frontier.
Mm. Always try to give a wide berth to the military forts personally.
Well, based on the history, I would completely agree with you, but some of these frontier ones that are not near cities or anything, they're very accommodating. But if you see trampled down trees around and troops marching outside, it's best to keep distance no matter who you are.
Hmm.
Fort Wallace up here has been very friendly, except for the couple days after a wolf got into the fort. They've been very tense since then.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I was raised with whispers of distrust for the government in general, especially the military. Not like my people were well loved and taken care of by the government, so.
Yes.
But I mean that, you know, as a whole, not necessarily individuals. I've met plenty of individuals who work for the government that are good people. But those who make the shots, or call the shots rather, their motivations. So I don't have an issue doing things like moonshining, because at the end of the day it doesn't really hurt anybody, except for the government, because they don't get their taxes on their alcohol. My small way of rebelling, I suppose.
Now I have a loose distrust of those in power. But as you said, the individuals, though, that make up the forces behind their power, it's you don't encounter too many who I would say are evil, or even if the orders are evil, the people who are following them generally aren't. You hear stories about one or two who are happy to receive those type of orders.
I mean, I feel I agree with you and as a whole, but I definitely have met individuals who enjoy getting any type of power to push on others. met plenty of deputies who, well, not plenty, but enough, where they enjoyed what little power they did have, and overreaching their I don't know.
I honestly don't have enough experience in local or regional law to judge one way or another. That's why I just kind of keep my distance.
Mm. The individual lawmen that I've met here so far, some of them are a little too uptight for my tastes, but some of them are good folks. For instance, Bishop, he just seems like he wants to help people, one way or the other. Cross is a little, he's, I don't know. I can't tell whether or not he is overzealous in his want to do his job correctly, or if he's going to become one of those individuals who uses the letter of the law to subjugate other people.
Well, let's hope not.
There is just some things I've heard him say and do that have me wary. He truly wants to bring justice when those people do bad things, but, you know. Things like Zio sitting on a roof and he comes over and starts yelling at her. Doesn't ask her questions, just starts barking out commands at her, and then his undersheriff comes walking up behind him, asks her a couple questions, and then tells her she's fine. And he gets all annoyed that, you know, he was overridden. So things like that give me pause.
I could definitely see that.
And then I had the deputy, which I in the last town I was in that I ran away from. My brother and his wife already had left for Scotland, and I was still running the saloon there, and there was a deputy that had transferred from another law department, and rumors came with him that apparently in the last place he was at, he burnt down a saloon with the workers inside of it because he found out that they were selling moonshine out of it.
I recall you mentioning this.
Yeah. And then he started asking questionings about our saloon. And knowing that I, you know, was producing moonshine, it set my hackles up, and he became a little too interested in my comings and goings. So I decided to leave too.
Well, it's odd that he would go straight to the saloons for that. It sounds like he's of the temperance movement or something.
Perhaps. He might have some personal vendetta against, you know, something in his past that has caused him to hate people who imbibe too much, or just alcohol in general, I don't know. But I wasn't going to stand around and wait for him to, you know, catch me selling moonshine, or, you know, bar the doors and burn me down with the place.
Not worth the risk.
Exactly. It's just a place after all. I can change. I can move.
Yeah, there's always different skies out there.
Exactly. I've always moved, always changed horizons, so it wasn't an issue for me. It wasn't much of a choice.
I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm done here.
What do you mean?
Yeah, once I figure out Chet, I don't know if I'm going to stay here or not.
Hmm. You want to move on to the next place?
Perhaps. If I am able to free him one way or another, I'll need to make sure to get him to a safe place. Somewhere that, if his mind is broken, that can help him. I don't think that'll be around here.
There's not many places in this world that are welcoming to those who are broken.
Well, then I might just have to take care of my oldest friend myself.
It'll be unfortunate, but I understand.
You were just mentioning horizons and such, and generally, this is about the time that I move on after a couple of months of being in an area.
Do you normally do this? Stop in a place and make friends and then leave?
No, it's this is a different chapter of my life. I was most recently contracted by the Army, Wyoming, Montana, through there, protecting the livestock from wolves and such, and that's a ranging occupation. Pays well. I'm good at it. But the only friends you make are those who are with you, or, those in the nearby forts, or someone you go and drink with, even though I don't imbibe.
So, not really friends. Just people you associate with.
Yes, ever since leaving the Army 4, 5 years ago, the camaraderie and companionship like that has been missing until I came here.
I mean, is that something that you don't mind leaving?
I think with those I have met, it would be difficult.
Your urge for wanting to move, though, oversees that?
Well, I am getting older. I am slowing down. Maybe if I actually stopped and thought about it, it may not be the best choice, but I don't have to make that decision now, thankfully. I've just been thinking about it a little bit.
Well, not to be harsh, but I feel like quite a few people have attached themselves to you, and if that is your plan this whole time, I think you should be not hiding it from yourself and others. I'm going to allow others to, count on you just for you to leave. It's a bit, it's a little cruel. I'm gonna be frank.
And please, it's one of the reasons I enjoy our conversations.
I think some would probably follow you, but I think most would end up staying. And those who end up staying will probably feel very bitter. I know you're helping them, but, you know.
Well, as an outsider, you did notice that they did attach themselves to me. Like I told you, they just come to me for information, and with information, it was a unique experience. I guess maybe because I was so open with my tale that they were happy to tell theirs, or open to helping them as well, and making sure when people ride with me they're safe, that sort of thing. Maybe there was a security there that they saw. I don't know if I'm as vital as you seem to be describing to them, but...
I mean, is that how you see your relationship with the others? Is transactional?
No, I don't.
Then why would you think that they wouldn't think the same way?
I'm not saying that that's the way they think of it.
Then what are you saying? I don't think you're even sure you know what you're saying.
Well, you describe a bitterness if I move on, which means yes, I don't know what I'm saying.
I think, if I'm reading this correctly, so please correct me if I'm wrong, I think you're trying to find ways of detaching yourself from the situation emotionally. You know, traveling the way you have, it's difficult to find those you can count on, really count on. And, I mean, all of us have traveled here. Most of us have experienced a good bit of what life has to offer, including individuals you meet along the way, and it's hard-pressed to find those that actually are genuine about wanting to help and to care. So, when you do find them, you do want them to stick around. As bumbling as you are a genuine person, and that is rare.
I think I wasn't prepared for this is all.
Prepared for what?
Well, in the army, your friends ebb and flow. A couple stick around. The companionship goes where the orders go, and sometimes you get split up, sometimes you see them again. It's just expected, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then here I form those bonds, and there may be different expectations that I was unprepared for.
Mm.
I'm not saying demands or anything, just as you described, building these friendships only to separate myself from them would leave a mark. I don't want to hurt anyone.
That's why I was saying, figure out what it is that you want to do after this is done, one way or the other. And be frank with your intentions with the other people. I'm similar to you. I've made friendships along the way, and when I leave, I realize I'll probably never see that person again. It's probably part of the reason why I'm so hesitant to let others in. It's happened to me too many times at this point.
It's interesting how similar we are, yet different, because you say it's happened to you and you guard yourself from it happening again, and for me it's happened, through army friends, and they just move on and occasionally come back, but for me that's just normal, and for you it's something that hurts. I feel, anyway, from what you're saying.
I mean, it was easier when I was younger. You don't realize that your expectations are unrealistic. And so you find people and you latch on to them and you let yourself get close. And then it's gone. And the first couple times it really hurts.
Yes. Why can't we know that we're in the prime or the golden part of our lives while we're in it? Only when we have moved on do we look back and realize how happy we may have been.
Yeah. And in each new town I go and I stay in, I feel myself less and less attached to everyone else around me. I feel like even this, getting closer to the rest of you, is pushing myself out of the comfort zone that I've created for myself in the past. Because I know eventually it's probably ending up going away at some point.
Well, every fort does have a gate.
What the fuck does that mean?
You build these walls, but there's always a room to move.
Yeah.
But you can always go back in if you need to. Not saying you should, but you always can. To protect yourself.
The problem is every time I close those gates again, as you say, they get harder and harder to open again.
You add more beams and nails and build up the dirt around it so they don't slide as easily.
Mm-hmm.
the other side of that is Runa's thought that maybe the government in this frontier is falling apart, which means people will probably move on anyway. Just naturally so if businesses start closing and outlaws run rampant without lawmen being paid, injuries go untended without doctors being paid. I don't know if we've seen enough evidence of that, but what do you do in those moments? Just flow with the group, or make your own way?
Just depends, I guess. I can't tell you. I mean, I'm certain if you spoke with the others, especially if what Runa is saying becomes more and more true, you guys could come up with a plan.
If we did move on, would you be willing to come with us?
I mean, I don't know. I still feel like an outsider.
I am working on that.
I mean, it is as much my own fault as it is the secrets. I have been pushing myself, but that dark part inside of me keeps, I don't know, lecturing my foolish behavior.
Oh, and I'm sure one misstep on our part will send you right back behind those walls.
It depends. I mean, some things can be talked through. I'm not irrational.
You've proven that, generously.
But yeah, it just depends on the situation. I can't guarantee anything, but I would imagine it would have to be pretty substantial. I think we've gotten to a point where, at least for me, if something was done and sent out of turn, I would at least want to have a conversation about it. But, you know, if it just continues to slide sideways after talking about it, then, you know, I mean, I can't lie, I probably would start backing away. I feel like that's kind of fair to say about anybody, though.
Of course, I can agree with that.
I would imagine there's the same for you. or the others if I was to do or say something, and, you know, I doubled down in the conversation and would probably put an end to any forward movement for a long time.
Well, hopefully most of our conversations don't have to make you feel like you shouldn't be saying your thoughts or certain words.
I'm careful. There's still, I don't mean to keep harping on this, but, you know, there's still a separation, you know? And, there's just things I'm never going to fully invest in everyone else because of that. Because whether or not it's on your end, there is distrust from people on me, which is fair. Like I said before, I know myself, and I know I keep my own counsel and don't speak much, and that tends to put others on edge. So I don't harbor ill feelings because of that. I feel it would be a little diluted if I did, but you know, it's you know, trust is a meeting that needs to happen. I can't put myself and my trust into somebody who doesn't trust me back. And since I don't know where the sources of distrust are, sort of the whole dynamic has to be held at arm's length.
I don't feel that there's distrust. Would you call it distrust, just trying to get to know somebody before sharing your story?
Sure. I mean, is that not what it is?
I
Perhaps
don't
not
know.
distrust, but you do not trust them enough yet with your secrets. Which is fine. Like I said, I'm not entitled to anything, but
I more view distrust as someone did something that would make me not want to intentionally.
then what would you call? What would you say then about a person who has you have yet to gain or yet to start to trust them, if not distrust?
I don't know if there's a word to describe it, I just don't feel it's distrust.
That's fair. But you, for lack of a better word, that's what I'm saying about distrust. They do not know me well enough, so they do not trust me yet. That's fine.
Or it's just never come up.
Perhaps. Either way, you can't deny that there is a separation there.
At the same time, to be frank, there is another side to this. If you are interested, you could always ask questions.
I have. Careful questions. Not big questions. Small ones. Nothing that would raise alarm bells, but enough where to measure, as it were. I'm dipping a toe in a pond to see how cold it is.
Do you have an example?
And one just happened last night. I could tell Sophie was riding on the back of my horse, and she started something happened in that town with her. The burnt down town. I forget the name of it. And she started gripping onto me tighter. And I asked her, "Are you okay? Something wrong?" And her immediate knee-jerk reaction was, "No, I'm fine. Don't worry about it." That's it.
She says that to all of us when she tenses up.
But things like that. I'm not saying just with her, I'm saying just in general. You have become, after our talk, have become more open with things with me. And I do appreciate that. But I don't see... I mean, I do see you as an individual, obviously, but I rarely see you like this by yourself. You are usually with the others. And you are careful of their considerations. And so you are not open to speaking around them about things that may involve them. Which I respect, but like I said, it's still there. I'm not going to poke and pry and beg for answers. If people wish to speak with me, they can. I try, bridging the gap once in a while, gently, subtly, but it hasn't happened. And so I wait.
Sometimes folks don't realize how subtle it can be. Maybe they just need a nice splash of cold water.
Perhaps.
But that means you would have to put yourself out there further, I think, if you wanted to do that. Which sounds like it would be difficult.
It's a strange place, for certain. I'll wait and I'll see. I'm sorry our conversations always end up so severe.
That's nothing to apologize for.
Isn't it?
No. I don't feel bad or upset about it. I think our conversations are very engaging. And as you said, we don't often get time just the two of us, so when we do, it's nice to see your opinions on things and hear things you're willing to share.
Yeah. No, I agree. I just feel like sometimes, especially compared to others that take life a little too seriously.
Sometimes that's needed.
It's tiring.
I'll give it another 20 years. You'll see how tired you are of it, I guess.
Can only imagine how much more severe I'd be in 20 years.
Or maybe you'd be more like me, where you just are bored of it and just want to surround yourself with like-minded individuals.
Most likely you're gonna find me holed up in a cabin in the middle of the mountains somewhere by myself.
And that's the other way to go.
I mean, I feel like something drastic would have to happen in order for that to change.
Well, one thing that can be certain in this world is things will surprise you.
Oh yes, that's true. Being around you guys makes me miss my old friends.
So you had your brother and his wife and others around this caravan you mentioned?
Yes. Noah, my brother, he had a whole group of friends that I didn't know about or I'd never met. Apparently Annalise was one of them.
Oh. I was mentioning how large the world is, but it seems like it might be a little bit smaller when things line up like that.
Yeah. Yeah, she was talking about Siobhan one day, and I was like, oh, I know a Siobhan. And we started comparing notes and realized it was the same Siobhan.
Life's little coincidences.
And that's my brother's wife.
Ah, I see.
She's the one who taught me about tarot. But I met, Annalise obviously now, but before then, the only people that I met from his little group of friends were,
Say it.
I don't know. They were best friends. They were business partners. I'm not quite sure. They were really close though. Left him Zip and
She said it.
is his business partner back in California. But I had friends out there as well that I had to leave. Or rather didn't want to leave with me. There was a small little guy who used to follow me around like a shadow named, well, his name was, everyone called him Bird, but
Bird. Following you around like a shadow. I must have been smitten with you of some sort then.
Maybe. Never said anything if that was the case.
Sometimes people just want companionship.
That's true. Would you mind giving me a second? I need to go to the outhouse.
Of course. She mentioned Zip and Eva. Alright, 42 huckleberries, 32 bones.
Morning, friend.
Surveying your kingdom.
No, was thinking I might need a midday nap here before we gather and go up to Annensburg later.
Oh, yeah. Go for it. I didn't mean to stop you from doing your business.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Did you end up moving your camp last night?
No, I stayed up reading last night, so I didn't move it.
Find out anything interesting?
There are a couple mushrooms. I didn't get to the plant book yet, but there are a couple mushrooms that grow in caves, but usually not around here.
Hmm. Okay.
But I only got... technically only got through about a quarter of it, flipping around and looking at keywords and such. Not reading every page. Basic characteristics and edible or not, and what happens if you ingest or not.
Yeah.
It's interesting, there's a some sort of fungus that invades insects, apparently, and forces them to do things. It's very disturbing.
Oh, what the fuck?
It makes them climb up trees, and then... well, then the fungus takes over and reaches for the sun, I guess. And then there's fungus growing out of them, apparently. It's an odd book, but I think Runa picked the right one.
I mean, yeah. Sounds like it has a lot of details about all kinds of mushrooms. Glad she's looking out for you.
Well, it saved me from going and beating down the door of the place, or maybe sneaking into one of those large, wealthy-looking houses looking at their personal library. But it was an option.
Yeah, true. It's still an option to sneak into Cisco, too.
Well, I was just over there, and I looked even closer after last night's conversation. There's watchtowers everywhere, and... I don't know. I'd have to know where he is, and how to get in. I just don't think there's that information unless I were to go there myself for other reasons. And then I'd have a reputation.
I would offer, but I have a business, so...
That's not something I would ask of anyone.
That's why I said I'd offer. I don't care if I have a reputation.
Well, I don't care too much, but if I'm... have eyes on me that shouldn't, then afterwards, then... You know, I would think that would be last resort. But I have considered it. No, I think there's still more to this that I don't understand before I need to make a harsh decision like that.
Yeah. Other avenues to explore first. Alright, well, go take your nap, old man.
Yes. So just, I will just telegram you when we're arranging meeting. I'm going to guess it's about going to be the same time as yesterday, maybe a little earlier.
Okay.
So if you're in this area, along with Runa and Sophie and whoever else may show up, probably no one else.
Everyone else is on vacation.
Well, Runa's made some friends that I haven't, so who knows who she could get involved.
It's true. Have you told Runa that you were going to bring me along?
Yes, I let her know.
Okay. She was fine with it?
She has not replied, but I'm going to say
Oh.
she was fine with it.
I will, if I run into her before we see you, I will ask her myself. Let her know what I told you, which is, if she wants to keep this her business, then I will sit it out.
Well, let's hope that she is willing and open to accept your expertise and knowledge in this area.
Right, but I don't know what the issue is. I don't know what it involves. And if she doesn't want to give me the details, I don't know what I'm going to look for. You see the problem?
Yes, and as you said, you don't want to have all these side conversations happening while you're out there helping us.
Right, I'd rather not have the whole thing be sidelined with a debate that lasts for a half hour between two people, whether or not I need to know certain things. So if it's possibly going to happen, I'd rather just exclude myself.
Well, I told her that I invited you. I guess it would be up to her to answer your question. But in my mind, I feel that as long as your time allows, that you should be coming with us.
Yeah, but this isn't your business, this is hers, so. I'll send her a telegram.
I think she'll take my advice on this.
Perhaps. You know her better.
Yeah, maybe not. We'll see.
I don't know, you seem pretty close.
She reacted to something last night in a completely different way than I expected, so maybe I am not as close as you think.
Oh.
Related to this business, sadly.
Oh.
But I do trust her confidence in the matter, and there could be some danger, but she doesn't think that it's an issue. So I'm ever cautious, and she has experience in this matter. So, well, if the town's going to become crowded and these wagoneers are going to start fighting with these horsemen, I probably should clear out.
Okay. Enjoy your nap, and if I don't see you later today with this whole thing, good luck.
I will see you later today with this thing.
Right.
Thanks for talking.
Yeah. Same.